in America with a guy called Nimai Delgado. And he comes to my bedroom, my hotel bedroom, and he's setting up for this podcast, all this gear he's getting out. And I said, it's a bit of a strange world to me, this. I don't really understand it. I'm having trouble with my mobile phone at the minute. I don't get all this. And I said, just check back for a minute and think, how would you get your message out there if you didn't have social media? And you looked at me quite honestly and said, I really don't know. I don't think I could. And that's where I was 16, 17, 18 years ago.
Yeah.
You've got to get the mainstream media on side. And the only way you were going to do that was either positively or negatively.
Yeah.
And I'm not a negative person, so I wanted to do something positive.
Yeah.
So that's why I run.
And something also that really got you out there and you were seen by, like... That's really amazing.
Well, yeah, I mean, because I couldn't connect with people individually. I couldn't go to 100 people and individually convince them to go vegan.
Yeah.
But what you could do is actions speak louder than words.
Yeah.
And whether you are familiar with this or you don't agree with veganism, or, you can't deny the fact that I've just beat you.
Exactly.
And I've just won that race.
Yeah.
And not only have I run that race, I've beat all the men in it too.
Yeah.
So some things actually, and I've been told I'd never run again.
Yeah.
So something is in my favour. And when you look at it,
yeah,
there's only one defining thing that's different to all you guys, and it's the fact that I'm vegan and I have been for a very, very long time.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
So that was just a statement. I don't want to kind of stand and argue with people. I wanted to create the facts, so that people can say it's just a belief or it's your opinion. But I just wanted to create facts that
exactly.
You can't argue with that.
Yeah. And in form of action as well. Like it's like you're a living proof of what you're stating. Like that's also what I really admire so much about you. And so the running, you mentioned it before, like you do for the animals, and you also have Tower Hill Stables, right? That's your sanctuary.
Yeah, that's our animal sanctuary. Okay. So I went vegan when I was 6 years old. That seemed enough at the time. I didn't even know what the word vegan was. I just knew the principle behind it. I didn't say to my mum, Mummy, I want to go vegan. I wasn't some super intelligent kid. It was just the principle. I don't want to harm animals.
Yeah.
So moving on a couple of decades, you kind of think, right, what's the next natural progression? It's to be able to nurture, to be able to save animals. Always a dream, never thought it'd become a reality to have an animal sanctuary. It was a long-winded process that got us to Tower Hill Stables. It was actually, we've been dreaming of having a sanctuary for years, but I never thought it'd be a reality. And I was doing little bits of rescue. We got dogs and cats and chickens, and I got horses at local farms. And then one of the horses had a terrible accident, and that was the kind of thing that pushed us over the edge. Oscar nearly lost his life. I'd been literally going to work all hours God sends in London to pay someone else to have the horses in their care during the day, and they basically screwed up and let people go into Oscar's field and shoot rabbits. Oscar got startled, he'd run into a fence, and that was it. We nearly lost him. So we literally just any money we could lay our hands on, everything. My mum just went into super overdrive. She's like got more mortgages than Santander Bank. I mean, she literally, she sold everything from her engagement ring to a piano, everything to get the money together. All my elderly relatives. I do tell a story that I had a great aunt. She was 98 years old, Auntie Nancy. And my mum said to her, there's a chance Fiona can get a sanctuary, just a chance. And Auntie Nancy went to her bed. She got a sock under a mattress with £1,000 in for a burial and for a funeral. She said, give her this and I'll have to hang on a bit longer. So and literally that was in 1996, and we got Tower Hill Stables. And it wasn't,
amazing.
I dreamt of having a place of sanctuary for the animals. I didn't dream of having some sort of formal animal sanctuary. So it was a place where the animals that I had already rescued could find sanctuary. And that was great. Oscar, 3 days after I got the keys to Tower Hill Stables, Oscar came home and he lived there happily for 2 years. But moving on from that, it wasn't enough. I mean, it was like, now I can go into full-scale overdrive rescue, but it's not big enough. So I started to kind of rent land and keep animals, off site, and the requests were coming thick and fast, and I could help farm animals. I've not been able to do that previously. You can't you can't put a pig on livery at a horse stables. You can't do that. So that was at the point, a couple of years after getting Tower Hill, a little bit longer perhaps, I thought, I've got to do something else. In the meantime, I joined the fire brigade because it was just a local resource that I could kind of bring awareness to probably an audience that weren't necessarily thinking about veganism back in the late 90s. They weren't thinking about females as firefighters back in the late 90s in the UK, and draw their attention to the fact that, you know, you can operate on some really, really physical kind of forum, male-dominated forum as a woman.
Exactly.
But I wanted more. I kind of wanted to, I just wanted to promote veganism. That seemed the answer. I mean, I kind of quickly worked out that I could rescue like 400 animals. I could, if I got the room, I could take 4,000, but it's not addressing the reason. It's not addressing the cause that they need rescuing. And that's what I kind of then moved into the running. But yeah, now at the sanctuary, we've got like 600 animals. It's still predominantly what I do every day is care for them. We've got 106 horses. Wow. I've got 150 pigs, 100 sheep. 50 odd cows. You know, it's a big operation to look after.
And do you have volunteers working for you, Fiona, at all, or like
I have volunteers, non-regular volunteers, people that come when they can to help. But very often people are so stretched anyway in their own resources. They've got jobs to go to. So you know, fundamentally, it's pretty much me and my partner that put in all the care. When Keegan came, he's kind of looking around and he's saying, "Oh my God, this is just suicidal. That's the only way I can talk about your life. It's suicidal." I mean, I get up at 3:30 in the morning. I have to cram the work in, and I go to bed about 10:30. And in that period of time, I care for animals and I run. End of life. That's all I do.
Animal care, running, done. That was the day.
The running's over. Like, I'm literally running back outside in my running shoes to get on with the looking after the animals. But I'm fortunate. It's easy to motivate myself because I actually see every day the ones that I care for. But when I go out, it's hard for me to explain, and I don't know if people will understand. When I go out, there's like 600 happy faces, very relaxed, very chilled, very secure in their own environment. But they're not the ones I see looking back at me. I see the ones in cages. I see the ones that don't have that, like, I won't say privilege because it's their right. I mean,
I do.
Aren't they lucky? But
do understand exactly
it's the other ones that are really, really unlucky, and the injustice is what drives me. Totally. It's a big operation to keep going, Tower Hill.
And so you promote, like, by you doing all the running and doing, you know, like the traveling and the running and all these amazing work that you're doing, like that is also giving money to the animals. Then again, like everything you do goes straight back into your sanctuary.
Absolutely, everything I go. I mean, I've never actually taken a speaker fee for doing anything. I don't ask for anything, but if people want to make a donation to the sanctuary, that's great. Everything we do, all our money goes into the sanctuary. My parents' pensions, all my mum's money over the years have gone into the sanctuary. Martin's salary, my own wage, everything. And I'm constantly, you know, looking to do more and help more. But it's a very expensive thing to do.
Absolutely,
very, very
and
expensive.
You have so many animals to feed, to look after, the land that you have to maintain. Like, it's absolutely incredible. So I think it's really important, like, to sort of state this as well in this podcast, like. We will have your website there in the notes, and people should really go and check it out and see all the amazing work. And I saw that you can adopt like animals, like, you know, you can actually sponsor an animal and see the names and see their beautiful faces. And
you can also come and stay at the sanctuary. I mean, we do a volunteer program where people who can come, but can't come regularly, come and help, and they can work on projects. You know, I can't rely on volunteers for the everyday running, the feeding, but there are add-on jobs that need doing that volunteers can come and do. And at the farm where I'm at, people can actually come and stay. We've got an Airbnb. My mum runs that. So we've got 2 rooms there that people can come and stay in and actually be around the animals. And
because you and your partner Martin, it is, right? Isn't it? You live at the sanctuary, or?
Well, there's 2 sites. Martin lives at one site and I live at the other site. And so I live with my parents up at this site. So between us, people can visit either site and stay at either one. It's just logistically, it's just got so big that we needed another site. We needed more land. We had to get more land for the animals, because when you've got so many large animals, relying on rented land, it's kind of changed in the UK, especially where I am in the southeast of England. Everyone is looking now for speculative building options on land. So if you're on rented land, people are kind of like, oh, but I don't want to rent it to a sanctuary because, I might get building permission. Everybody's looking, for that sort of thing. So it's on very tenuous ground. You can't really kind of, if you get evicted and you've got like 20 horses to house, that's not going to be an easy thing to do. So we split ourselves between the two sites.
No, that's absolutely an amazing thing to do, to come and help you out, or just donate money to you and all that kind of stuff. I'd love to come and visit you, by the way, Fiona. I mean,
you definitely
must come. I will love.
Yeah.
I'd love that. That's amazing. And so with that, with caring for all these animals, did you have to learn also about, like, I mean, you're not a vet. Like, did you have to learn about how to look after them when they get sick, or when something happens, or these kind of things?
Yeah, I mean, I've always been around animals, and I think it's kind of a sixth sense that you actually get to know. I mean, horses especially. I mean, the vet says you know more about them than I do. I can't operate on them, but I know. Yeah. I know the things, it's very individual care here. It's continuity of care. I know every animal individually. So I know when things are wrong. I know when to flag up. And somebody else might come in and think something's perfectly normal. And I think, no, that's not normal for that animal. Or vice versa. It's kind of years and years of experience you get. I've pretty much seen it all amongst the kind of animals that I care for. I've got a very, very good farm vet who looks after the horses as well, who we work together. I mean, he knows probably I know more about each individual animal, and he obviously knows more about the medication and like if they need an operation, but together we work well to keep costs down as well. It's just years and years of experience. I've never done anything else really all my life, but look after animals. What I love doing.
Yeah, exactly. And do you have like a specific, vet person or something that you have a personal bond with, that comes to that if you have any problems with the animals, they are at your call or something, or they come and help you?
I mean, we had a bit of a shake-up actually since the film. Andre, my farm vet, he actually left practice. He was having difficulties at the practice he was working in. He moved on out of. I still keep in touch with Andre for advice over the telephone, but he's gone too far out of zone to actually call in on emergencies. So Andy, my equestrian vet, he took over. He does farm animals as well. So between the two of them, we pretty much sort everything out. I mean, Andre's been fantastic since he moved to Cambridge. We had one of the cows, Jonathan, he broke his leg, and he went to Cambridge Veterinary Hospital. They'd never had a cow with a broken leg up there before. He was in plaster for 6 weeks. They looked after him amazingly well, and now Jonathan's back here and all safe and sound with the rest of his family. So we bond well with our vets because they understand what we do.
Absolutely,
some vets do not get the concept.
Exactly, right? Yeah, that's what I also think. Yeah, you have to have like that kind of connection, or even like I sometimes feel like I have a little doggy. He's here now with me as well, listening to you. And you can tell that people, even some vets, don't even like, oh, so your dog is vegan, and they kind of have an opinion on that, so it's good that you have someone who really gets what you're doing, because it's so important for the animals.
You couldn't operate if you didn't. The only thing I will say is that with farm animals, which is the cattle and the sheep and the pigs, people come and they say, oh, it's wonderful that they're safe now from harm. And I say to them very carefully, they're not actually safe from harm, because if there is a national outbreak of something, they revert back to the national herd or the national flock, and they come under the jurisdiction of DEFRA, the Department of Environmental and Rural Affairs, and they can be seized. They can be taken from you. You can't stop people coming in, and if one farm down the road gets an outbreak, then it's tough love for your animals. So
they will come and get
they're
them.
never entirely safe. You're always living in fear of turning the news on and finding there's been an outbreak of swine flu or foot and mouth. You think, oh my God, You know, how near is it? You know, going on lockdown. We had foot and mouth in our area nearly 20 years ago, and it was 2 years of a living hell.